Your industrial marketing strategy that you spend money on sucks. In this video, I'm going to give you the 3 steps to success. Talking about, digital marketing strategies for manufacturers. I've talked about this in length, in depth. If you go to the YouTube channel, you can get all of the refreshers that you need, but let's go through it quick because there's so much to unpack here and so much to cover, but I want to just break it all down into a couple, 3 easy areas. Wish I could share my screen right now. You'll see I've got literally 3 bullet points. So I think that we could all agree that we're going after omnipresence, which omnipresence being everywhere all at the same time. That's the goal. That's the North Star. I just talked to a trade publication today in their sales meeting about it. They brought me in to talk about some things, and that's the goal. So if the goal is omnipresence, you got to be doing everything. But here's what you have to focus on, because you're going to be super overwhelmed if you're not doing much. You're going to be super overwhelmed, so you have to start and say, I just want to do things that other people aren't doing. And in industrial, that is such a wide range because most people in industrial manufacturing are not doing much, regardless of company size. You can be a big company like these guys back here, or you can be a small company like some of the viewers have, small, 6-figure, 7-figure shops, stuff like that. It does not matter. Big companies don't always have big budgets, don't always have big teams, aren't willing to do big things. A lot of times it's those medium-sized companies that are like, no, we're going all in. So remove the misconception that I have to be big in order to do a lot. You can get so much attention and noise if you're strategic, and that's where we're going to cover the main areas that I want you guys to focus on. Start now. You can start today, but at a minimum, say, hey, Q4, when typically things in industrial, in some industries, start slowing down, I'm going to go ham. If you don't know what ham is, look it up. It's a song by Jay-Z. I'm not going to say it because I don't want to get canceled by LinkedIn. So you want to go ham in Q4 and at least into Q1 of next year. So if you're like, hey, I'm so busy, you're never too busy to at least do some of these things. But at a minimum, do them in Q4. You want to try and have this in place in Q1 of 25. Number 1, fix your SEO. SEO, search engine optimization. Fix your on-page search engine optimization. If you don't know what issues you're dealing with, go to SEMrush, SEMrush. Sign up for a free account. You can crawl your site. You can look at your current positions. Pay $50 a month for a license to look at your positions. I just went through it with somebody earlier today and said, here's what you guys are ranking for. Here's what your competitors are ranking for. Shocks people most of the time. Like, why is that bringing so much traffic? It's the wrong traffic. If it's not measured, it's not managed. It's that simple. You got to know what you're ranking for. You got to know what you want to rank for. If you guys are smaller and have your own thing and don't want to pay for somebody to do it, you can figure out how to do all of this stuff on YouTube. 10 years ago, when I built this company's website, I watched, 100 hours worth of YouTube videos to learn how to do WordPress and coding. Then I learned about SEO. I didn't know how to do that stuff myself, so I just taught myself. I have a degree from YouTube University, just like a lot of people out there. So you got to start with there's so many resources. On-page SEO, meta title, meta description, most important. Then H1 tag, H2 tag, that's you telling Google, this is what I want the page to rank for. Every single one of your pages has to be optimized. If you got money, you want to pay an agency to do it, we know industrial, just come over to MFG Tribe. But you got to start there. You want to show up. That's a long-term play. Fix it today. That's a long-term play. It's going to take months and months and months to see your positions increasing. But if you want to know where you stand, go to SEMrush, go to moz.com, someplace like that, and say, what are my current positions? What am I ranking for nationally? Not just in your little ecosystem of like Lakeway, Texas. I want to look at national presence. Where are my positions? Then you look up your competitors. You track that on a monthly basis. Super simple and easy. SEMrush is the best for $50, $100 a month. Well worth the investment to know where you stand, because that is a long-term play. On-page SEO and creating content helps for backlinks, helps for off-page SEO, helps for lots of long-tail keywords, showing Google that you're the authority. But at a minimum, you got a 5-page site, make sure every single one of those pages is ranking for keywords and phrases that are important to you. That's step 1. At least do that. Step number 2, you got to track performance. If you guys are not tracking performance in your verticals, what's getting traffic, what's getting attention, how are you tracking your deals, where did that person come from, what are the notes, et cetera, et cetera. If you're not tracking that, there's no possible way that anything from a strategy standpoint will work. You know why it won't work? Because you're not measuring the results. So you can't go into 2025 or into Q4 and say, I'm going to do all these things for the next 3 months, 6 months. and they're going to work because Kyle said they're going to work. They may not work for you if you don't execute properly and aren't measuring if your audience and who you're trying to sell to is actually engaging. In general, we can say social media works on LinkedIn. Everybody can say that. Email marketing works if you're doing one-off sequences and if your copy is short and if you got the right audience and if you got the updated information from the contact. Yes, it works. Across the board, it works. But for your specific niche, for what you do specifically, you're going to have to do some things and adjust it and pivot and strategize, etc. We've got a client that we did email marketing for. First couple of months, because we were kind of being led in the strategy on what they wanted, didn't really produce great results. I came in and said, nope, wipe that all out. This is what you should do. Track and measure results. Hey, starting to get a little traction. Do more. Get some leads, get some deals, etc. Start to see ROI. That's the way it works. There is no strategy. It's just like, just do this and it'll work. You have to make adjustments. So the only way to do that is to track your performance. And for free or $35 a month, you can get HubSpot license. If you want a little negotiation on that and get a little package, just a little itty bitty guy, reach out to me. We're a partner with them and I'll get you a discount. And they'll offer you a discount. They'll offer you a discount direct. We can typically get a bigger discount because we're a platinum partner. But it comes down to setting your systems up. I don't know how you could possibly operate without having systems that are tracking performance. You guys may have spreadsheets and databases and all this stuff to track. When am I supposed to follow up with that guy, that girl, that deal? What's the price on that, etc.? Yep, you can find all that stuff. But having it all in a centralized place that you're going into daily and working your stuff from there and is connected to your website and is tracking your deals. And as you get there and you want to spend a little bit of money on a license for you smaller guys out there, then you say, hey, I'm willing to spend $500, $600 a month. I'm going to unlock these features. I'm going to start doing marketing automation, email sequences, one-off emails. Then you can go and grow with it. That's why HubSpot's better. There's not a system out there. I don't care if it's Sugar, Zoho, Apollo, Microsoft Dynamics. Ugh, kill me. That thing is horrible. None of those systems can compare to a scalability system like HubSpot that offers everything in one roof, but you don't have to bite all those things off at once and choke on it. You can scale with it. It scales with you as you continue to scale and invest in it. But at a minimum, for a very small dollar amount a month that anybody can pretty much afford, like you can't think about the opportunities you're missing because you're not willing to spend at least 20, 30, 50, $100 a month. You're missing opportunities. You're not tracking it, right? And you may say, I don't have time to do it. I don't have the team. You will have time because you will be out of a job. Your company will fail if you're not investing into tracking and measuring this. So you have to be checking that performance. You have to be doing it on a weekly, monthly basis. This is not something you set it and forget it. Same thing with SEO. You can't just be like, I updated my on-page SEO. We're good. I saw that we moved up 3 positions. You got to be tracking that stuff on a monthly basis. If you're not doing that, you can't possibly know what you have to adjust. So it starts with the SEO, track and measure through SEMrush with that. For performance on marketing verticals, where did traffic come from? What are your deals? When do you have to follow up? That's all just done through HubSpot. Just say, you know what? I'm going to do it. And if you want to get a discount, come through us and we'll set you guys up. But you have to say, like, if you look at sales, so talking to you sales guys out there, business owners, people that are running sales teams, deals are closed in the follow-up. It's that simple. They are not closed in the first conversation. I will go against any industrial manufacturing salesperson and beat them to the ground because I will follow up longer, faster, and better than anybody out there. Because that's what happens is people are like, oh, yep, got to follow up. 3, 4, 5 times, no deal. They forget about it. I will follow up for 3 years at some schedule because either one thing's going to happen. Either you're going to give up on me or I'm going to give up on you. And I would rather control it and say, I'm never going to give up chasing you. I'm going to continue to be aggressive, moderately aggressive, less aggressive, different methods of follow-up. But how could I possibly know that if I don't have a system that has organized it all together? I can't remember all of these things I have to do, all these deals, all these lost deals, all these win-back deals, all these conversations that happen. Just creating tasks in HubSpot, that stuff is cheap and easy and free. Track your performance, set metrics and KPIs. If you don't have a goal, how can you possibly know if you're going in the right direction? You have a revenue goal, you have an operational efficiency goal, you have a budget goal, a people goal, but if you don't have a performance goal for your marketing or sales and your business in general, then how could you possibly say you're doing a good job? You can't. You're just like, yeah, we're going in the right direction, but are you, like, you're tracking probably your profitability for smaller shops out there. You're tracking those things, but not marketing. Like you gotta say, enough is enough. I'm gonna track my performance. I'm gonna do it in HubSpot. Last thing, you gotta create content. You gotta create content. If you're comfortable being on camera, do videos. If you don't want to do camera stuff, write long form posts. If you just want to take pictures, make something your thing. If you're like, I don't want to be the only one on camera, okay, do a free Zoom license, or if you have Microsoft Teams or whatever, record the stuff, interview somebody. It's just a Zoom meeting. Take that content, chop it up in some sort of editing software if you want to do it all on your own, and then post that out there. You want to know what's even cheaper than that? Just go live on LinkedIn, just like we're doing now. You can do it. I can do it with my webcam. You can buy a $50 webcam, put it on something, and run it through that and your audio through your computer, and just go live and have a conversation. Try and provide value. That stuff is free to do. All it takes is a little bit of time, and you'll get a massive return on it. But you got to create content in some fashion. Video is the easiest because you can just do it on your phone, shoot it, post it, get attention. That goes back to the first point before the point started, which was do what others aren't willing to do. Create your own thing. We're going to have somebody on one of our shows where she does, and I talked about this on a couple lives ago, she does the whole takes pictures of license plates as she's traveling. Cool license plates. And maybe she just Google searches the pictures. I don't know. I'm going to ask her about it though. But you're traveling a lot, document that. Have fun with it. Make something your thing. Think about creative ways to what is an idea? So we've got Talk Shop, right? That's an episode that's a series that we used to do. We're bringing it back because I want to have conversations with people, get to know them, get to know their struggles, get them to teach something to the audience of something that they learn, whether in sales, marketing, CEO, built the company themselves, etc. So I want to do things like that. And so I made my own series, right? I used to have Make Cool Shit TV. We're bringing that back, where I would just go and learn from people what they're doing with manufacturing. I knew most of the answers to it, but I'm trying to teach it at a third grade level, push that out there to get the younger generation to step up and get into industrial. So I figured what better than to do a micro dirty jobs, Make Cool Shit TV. It was called Make Cool Shit TV. And I had a couple associations be like, hey, we want to show this in high school, but you say shit, so we don't want to do it. So I changed it to MFG Tribe TV. Nope, I'm not doing that anymore. I'm going after what resonates with the audience, which is make cool shit. Hashtag, if you make cool shit, I want you on the show. We're going to travel to you, video it, document it, etc. So you got to make your own thing. It does not matter what your position is. If you travel a lot, do something around traveling. Don't be like, here's the hotel I stayed in. Tie it back to your industry. But you have to be creating some sort of content. That's the only way to stand out. You can push we're the best. This is our service. This is our product. It's the best, best, best. You can only say that so many times before everybody's like, yeah, dude, I've heard it every day, every week for the last month, for the last year. It's the same thing. You got to be different and change it up. Do LinkedIn. I told the team I want to do a LinkedIn Live for 8 hours, just on my phone, just walk around the office. We did it before we did the Hot Ones episode. And it was an hour and a half. And it was just the phone set up on a tripod. Let's just go live for 8 hours. Just see what happens. I don't even know how long LinkedIn will allow you to do it. Maybe it's 4 hours. Do something to stand out and change it up. Now, what you do with that content, that's the key. So from a strategy standpoint, push it out on social, on LinkedIn, put it on your website, and send it out through emails. But those emails have to be one-on-one sequences, not just mass. Here's our newsletter with HTML code and all this banner stuff. The Apple, Google, Microsoft gods will come in and say, not sending this email to the person. You look a little bit too spammy. So you got to be like, hey, got this video we just posted on LinkedIn, on YouTube. Check it out. It's pretty funny. Do something funny. If comedy is your thing, do something funny. But be creative with your content. And if you're like, oh, my company won't let me do it. Okay, do it on your own personal brand. Because guess what? I've talked about that so much, but I haven't talked about it in a while. Your personal brand, for those of you that work for somebody, is powerful. If you have thousands of connections and you get a lot of attention and you get deals through it and you get opportunities and brand awareness and et cetera, that is advantageous for you to have from a company standpoint. The company will value you because you have that. You've built your own thing up. There's numerous people on LinkedIn that have 20, 30, 50, 70, 80,000 followers that work for a company that just made their own thing, that then get their own little influencer brand ambassador deals that pay them money every single month. And then the key is okay, you got attention. And I've talked about this before. You got attention on something. What did you do with it? Did you turn it into money? because that's what it's all about, is turning some sort of attention into a revenue stream, either for yourself or for your company. So you have to create content and push it out there. That's the key. If you're not doing that, then I don't know what you're doing. It could not be easier these days than ever. Maybe in 5 years it'll be easier. But like, you just literally just take your phone, shoot some content, upload it to LinkedIn. Don't care if it's polished, if it's raw, if there's bloopers, if there's edits, does not matter. Shoot it raw, upload it, people will like it. Take multiple pictures of what you did in the shop today. People will engage with that. The strategy going into end of Q3, strategy of this week for the next 12 months has to be do what others won't do things you haven't done, organize yourself into some sort of database to track performance, measure those results of the time you're putting in. If you're investing 20 hours a week, 5 hours a week into something, you want to see an ROI on that. It may be long-term, but you start to see those numbers are going up, impressions are going up, website visitors are going up, but that's all vanity stuff. I want to know, how many deals are you getting? Are you getting more deals now, opportunities, at-bats now, than you were without it? And I can promise you, if you invest the time and do it the right way, you will win. It's just usually, it's like anything new that you start. It does not matter if you're in industrial sales or marketing or you're doing something in your personal life. It's like growing grass. You put in the work, the seeds are growing under the soil. Most of the time, people stop doing something before that grass sprouts through, right? So you got to put in the work, but track and measure. You'll see wins, micro wins along the way. And if you're not tracking and measuring that, it's not going to give you enough feedback to have you justify to yourself, I should keep doing that, especially if it's something that you don't love doing. If you're like, I don't love doing videos, but I'm going to do them because it puts me out of my comfort zone, and it ends up either helping somebody or getting my business attention, then all you need is a little bit of feedback, and that's a fuel to keep you going. Hopefully you guys got value out of the content. If you did, hit the subscribe button below, turn on notifications, follow me on LinkedIn. And if you want to listen to this in podcast format, head over to every major podcast platform, type in industrial sales and marketing with me, and I'll see you on the next one.